I think before my days are done, I want to be a fisherman. I want to die a fisherman. Calling John the fisherman. Alright. This is your boy Blair Bunky coming at you. We got a round 2 matchup. Questionable Counsel and Jaws. God damn it. Let me find these fellers. Jaws. Of course you're not here. Question. Why do you guys not go by your vassal names on here? Really makes it a pain in the ass to figure out who the hell you are. And oh, Catalyst? Is that it? Oh, there it is. Jiggity Peoples and Catalyst. Alright. Oops. I'm watching you this time. And if someone else won't break, I wish I can. So, questionable. So running this dual Falcon list. This is really similar to that dude that got runner-up at Gen Con. He just got Chewie decked out with the R2-D2 C-3PO and Millennium Falcon. I've never seen this R2-D2 in action yet. I've yet to see it, so I'm kind of interested. And then he's just got Nien Determination and Han Solo here. Don't know if I'm crazy about Solo. I'm not sure why you'd go. Well, I guess, is Millennium Falcon title unique? It might be. Actually, I'm almost guaranteed it is, actually, now I think about it. It is unique. Okay, so that's why it doesn't have Falcon on Lando. I'm not crazy about Solo, though. I feel like for 3 points, I think I like Lando a little bit better. I would, especially if he's going with such a defensive lineup, or even the recon specialist. I would have preferred to see him go with that. I don't think Solo's a very good card. Then again, I've never used it, but that was just my 2 cents. So, Jiggity is demanding that I refer to him as Jaws. Alright. Very well, sir. I mean, Jaws. Seriously? Yeah, Jiggity. Jiggity. And then he's just got his Fat Han, so this is sort of a rematch of Paul Heaver's semi-final matchup when he was running Fat Han list going against the dual Falcon. So he's got Luke Engine, C-3PO, Falcon, pretty standard in the 3 tall, pretty common build. It's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit with the YT-2400 coming in. You can see more people running that now, but still pretty popular. Man, that is just, it's a lot of hit points to take down. And like you say, okay, well I'm just gonna focus on Lando. Well, it's that draw or fire. You figure Chewie's gonna be able to pull at least a couple of hits off Lando, make it even harder. Determination. Yeah. I don't know if I'm crazy about determination either, though, because when you've got draw their fire, I think I would have canned that and solo and gone with a 3 or 4 point upgrade card, either an elite pilot talent. Really, only 4 is just exposing outmaneuver or opportunist, so you really don't want that, I guess. Crew, yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot for 4, but for 3, definitely could go Lando or the Recon. I like both of those. So that's JD, the Fat Han. So he's got 9-4-4-4 and then for 7-5. So Initiative's not going to matter. Questionable's got it if he wants it. And they all go. It goes both asteroids. Every single one. Or is this a debris field? I think that's actually a debris field, actually. Nope. Not sure what sides they're going yet. So, I really do not have very much experience playing against the old Double Falcon. But I feel like most people in this situation tend to go for Lando first, just because he's easier to kill. But with, like, neither of these guys have a whole lot of firepower, so it's going to take a while even to take him down. So this is probably going to be a pretty long, drawn-out game. And I think if you're Chewie, I think you kind of want to get those, I mean, if you're Jaws, whatever, I think you want to get those Talas first, because they're a pretty good matchup against you, against your low agility. Even though he's got all of these, they can do a lot of sets of damage, whereas Han is meant to counter, the Interceptors and the Phantoms of the world, and A-Wings, I guess. Now that A-Wings are kind of popular. He's not a big damage dealer. His, value comes in, and then he's basically almost a guaranteed hit against whoever he attacks, but he doesn't do big time damage. So I kind of feel like if you're Chewie, and it comes down to you versus him, I kind of feel like you take that matchup. Even though Han shoots first and he's getting guaranteed hits, when you got 3PO, D2, and the Falcon, then again he's got 3PO and the Falcon too, but I think if you're Jaws, you want to look to try to get some close-in shots against Han, range 1 preferably, because like I said, he's just guaranteed damage, so you're taking damage anyway, as opposed to Han's actually got a chance to dodge you, or only take 1, whereas you might be taking 2 from him, because even if you're shooting at range 3, he's still getting a hit, so I think that would be my strategy. And it looks like they're going top to bottom. So isn't it tournament rule whoever has initiative, the other guy gets to pick side? So does that mean someone picked top? Interesting. Haven't seen that yet. But it kind of makes sense because everyone says like top is you're at a disadvantage because you're kind of doing stuff backwards, but I don't know, I think people who play Vassal are kind of more used to going from the top, because I see more games top to bottom than I do left to right. Like I said, I honestly don't think I've ever played against a dual Falcon list on Vassal. I played against my friend once, and from everything I've seen and heard, basically the way you do it is you lead with Chewie, and then whatever move Chewie does, Lando's going to do the same move the turn after. That's just what I've heard, so I don't know. Of course, no one's watching to tell me. I know Jeff has probably played against him before. Oh my god, who cares about the map pack? But it looks like he's not going to do that. He's just going to line them up side by side. But, you know, obviously, the real benefit of the Falcon is that, the dual Falcon, is that the double 360. And so, even though Han's got it too, these guys don't. So, I think the objectives for Jaws not only try to get in close range shots on Han, but also really make these Talas have to navigate through the asteroids. Make them work. Don't just set it for the joust, and you set up on the opposite side. But this Tala's got a bit of an alley here, so interested to see. Kind of got two options, obviously. You're either going to blast ahead and make him try to get sucked in and then go like so, maybe hit one of those, or throw him for a loop and take an immediate left turn. But then if they go straight, then you kind of are heading for a joust, which you don't want, so. To bring his cash back to this small community, he doesn't see the danger dawning. Come on, questionable, set him up. So Han's going to set up on the far side. So, basically saying he's going to try to make his Talas be the fodder and let Han live some. And normally, when you run these Fat Han lists, the idea is you kind of lead with Han, sort of, and let him take a couple of hits, and then let him fly by the opposing ships, get behind them, and then kind of shoot at them from behind. So he kind of absorbs the first round of firing so you don't lose any ships initially, but then you kind of protect him because he's such a strong late game ship. But against these double 360s, you don't really have that option to get behind them. So he's just going to kind of protect him here. Alright, so here we go. Evil Ed and Veldrin, that'll be a good game. I wonder if we're going to get one more here today. Mark and Rickon? No. Mark's playing Shifty. I don't think that's him. Doesn't see the danger dawning. They do not hear his frantic mess. It says, when I grow up, I want to be one of the harvesters of the sea. I think before my days are done, I want to be a fisherman. I want to die a fisherman. Calling John the fisherman. We're calling John the fisherman. It's questionable really thinking it out. He's thinking, if he goes straight, what am I going to do? I'll send my tallest through this little alley here. But can they catch these YTs if they go straight ahead? Am I going to have to kind of turn here and maybe hit one of these that I don't want to do? And then what's Han going to do if these guys take the lead? I don't want... Or does he want him to get shot at first? But the big thing is he wants to make sure they all get a shot. Really thinking that over. And they left this up. I don't think I'm allowed to say. Ugh. Come on, Brohim. Let's get this show on the road. My ADD is kicking in. Is Jaws the Fat Han? Oh. Okay, so I was incorrect there. So questionable is run the Double Falcon. Jaws is the Fat Han. Sorry for the confusion. Alright, let's do this. Just going 4 straight with the Talas. God, please take that off. It's so very annoying. At least to me. Chewie's going straight. Lando's doing the same move. And Han going forward 1. God, take that off. Tempted to rejoin just to get rid of it. So what are we going to see now? You kind of got, well, really only 2 choices if you're questionable. Or catalyst, what have you. You can do like a 3 left turn. Go at the Talas. Or you can just go straight and keep playing tag. Or ring around the rosy, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's tough to imagine the Talas going forward again. Because if Chewie goes 3 left, he's going to have a shot. And they won't. And if Han goes straight, he won't either. So I bet money Jaws is turning into him here. And if questionable realizes that, I don't know. He could go either way. Actually, I'd say if questionable thinks Jaws is turning in, I think I'd see him go straight because then you gotta make those Talas be heading for these 2 fields here, and hopefully run one of them over it. Ugh. Come on. The Talas returning. Oh, wrong way. Oh, questionable. He's so funny. He's always making banter like that. He's supposed to be serious, dude. Come on. Quit fucking around. God damn it. Chewie is going to go forward. So Chewie is able to lock, it appears, and I think this is what you want if you're questionable, because now it's just going to be, I don't think this guy's got a shot, and you're fine with that, going one-on-one, your Falcon against his Bandit, because you're going to be shooting, well, if you factor in that asteroid, I mean, he'll be shooting 3-on-4, you'll be shooting 2-on-3. And I think if you're the attacker, you prefer that, because attack dice are more valuable than defense dice. So, at least for the initial turn, I mean, it's not much, but it's those small things that win you the game, the close games. And Chewie's attack will also be focused target locked, and the Tala is only going to be focused. I'm kind of surprised he wouldn't evade there as Chewie. I guess he has faith that with his 3PO, and that's another thing, he's got 3PO too, so he probably feels like he can dodge. All you have to do is roll. Well, and again, it'd be interesting to see what he guesses, because you normally don't roll 3 defense with a Falcon. So if the Bandit gets 1 hit, sorry, the Tala gets 1 hit, what do you guess? Do you guess 1 because it's the most likely outcome? I think that's what you'd do, in my opinion. If the Tala only gets 1 hit, though, obviously you just get 0. And Chewie just has a shot. And I think he has to shoot through that asteroid. Normally he'd have the option, and I think he'd actually pick, no, I don't want to shoot through it. But I think he will. I think you're right. I think he has to here. It's close though. So it calls through the roids. It's a 3-on-4. Focus crit. I think you spend it here. Why not? Of course, then it's thinking maybe, yeah. Thinking maybe wants to save the action for next turn, but I think you'd spend it. Ooh, 2 crits and a focus. Probably won't matter, but just hoping for 2 blanks here. If you're comfortable. Jaws doesn't agree, so they're going to measure it out, looks like. Nova Matter. So he gets one shield. That's really all you wanted if you're Chewie. Now one hit. And that sucks. Ooh. That was a bit of an error there by Questionable, I think. He forgot to use 3PO. I mean, with 3 dice, you're usually going to get a hit. Or you're usually going to get one evade, but you definitely can. It's like a 15-20% chance you don't roll an evade. So it's definitely possible you don't roll one. You forgot to use 3PO. That's, like I said, just a small things, but those one shields can make a difference when it gets close at the end. And I think that's a critical error forgetting to use that, in my opinion, but just me. So he focused target locked that turn. Gonna be interesting to see what he decides to do now. Is he gonna go for the Falcon title? And what moves is he gonna do? Is he just gonna go one forward again with both guys? Well, they're thinking it over. I don't know. You're in a bit of a bad way here if you're Jaws. It's going to be hard to navigate through these things without hitting one of them with at least one guy. Do you bank now, or you just go one forward again and bank the second turn? I'm pretty sure this is an asteroid field. I don't think... Yeah, or sorry, debris field. I'm pretty sure the other asteroid isn't shaped like that, so if he runs over that, it's not as bad. I think with a headhunter, you'd rather just fly over that than an asteroid, but still don't want to land on either one. And you can't really block him with Solo either, because Solo's going last. It's kind of got it mishmash. I think normally you'd want Han to be on their flank and the headhunters flying right at him, because then they could potentially block. And that would be big, blocking both those big kahunas. I know, that's how I'm starting. And he takes 2. So, he gets to activate 3PO. And with the way this is setting up, it's going to be hard for Jaws to shoot at Chewie again, at least with all his ships. But even still, I think most guys would prefer the situation Jaws is in to questionable. Simply because, I mean, even though he's kind of the one you want to take the hits, I guess. Actually, I think he'd probably rather have Chewie late game, I suppose, instead of Lando. But he's taking more damage. And the hit points are so similar here. We've got 13 plus 12 is 25. 25 versus 26, so it's almost identical. And over here, Jaws is only taken 1, plus 3 is only taken 4. And over here they've taken 6. So even though I kind of like Questionable's his setup right now where he's out on the board, because like I said, Talo's got to navigate through these asteroid debris field, and what are you going to do with Han? Because he's kind of turning away. Talo's going to be turning into them, so they're following him. You don't want Han running away the other direction, so what's he going to do? He can't turn right this first turn. I think you might just see him just go 1 forward straight, and if he bumps, he bumps. And then maybe try to turn him back to here. But the thing is, these guys, Chewie's just going to kind of run ahead and not get shot at so much this turn. And then Lando's going to be the one to take most of the hits. And then they're going to be able to kind of swoop back around and just keep shooting at these Talos the whole time while they're trying to catch up. So I like Questionable's positioning right now better, but overall, I'd say I'd rather be in Jaws' situation right now. If you can get another good round on Chewie, what you hope for here is that Chewie, when he uses R2, he gets a crit right off the bat. That could be devastating for Questionable. So he's just going to use it right now, and he doesn't get it, so he just gets the shield. So that's big. And if you can fly Chewie well enough to the point where he's not getting, like, if you flip this first crit and it ends up being like, munitions failure, then that's huge. Because if you can keep him out of the fray, just keep regenning your shields, that's the only damage card you have, you're not going to take any more crits, but it's a lot easier said than done to just keep him from not taking any more damage. And I think, it's a tough call here what you do with Chewie. Because I think a 1 straight, wow, with that bump or not, that would be really freaking close. I think it'd be clear though. So I think that's probably what you're going to see. I think you're just going to see 1 straight there, 1 straight there. Those are green for the Falcon, right? Yeah. I think that's probably what you'll see. Because I don't think that any moves these Talos can do can really block that. You might see him go 1 forward again and just shoot at Lando, but he wants to try to focus fire on Chewie as a thing, so does he go for a 3 left bank? And then just like a 1 left bank, 1 left bank? Or does he just go 1 forward? Keep him in formation. doesn't see the danger dawning. To bring this cash back to the small community. Boy, they're thinking this over. Wish there was another match we could jump back and forth to. That's just a game. I hope so. That leads me to believe he's going straight. Because you know a one right bank would clear, obviously. Or maybe a 3 or 4 straight. That'd be pretty ballsy if he did that. Come on. No, Hathi is not in the TC tournament. Well, shit. Well, he's picked for 2, but he doesn't know what the hell he's going to do with these guys, so that's kind of interesting. That must mean 2 is just doing something simple. He's thinking about pulling something off with these guys, I would imagine. Either 3 left turn or 3 left bank. Maybe double 3 left bank. And then just like a 1 left bank, maybe. What do you do with Han? You don't really want him to bump, because you know they're going after him. Maybe you just fly him ahead, kind of get him clear, because they're kind of targeting. You don't want those range 1 shots on him, because like I said, if you're Han, you'd rather be shooting at range 3, because you're going to get guaranteed hits anyway. At range 1, it's kind of even. Oh, man. Come on. T1 is going to one left bank. I like that move. Nice and safe. Gonna get your action guaranteed. You're gonna get some shots, no doubt. It's gonna do a 1 straight with a T3, and that's gonna bump. I think I would have preferred to see a 3 left bank there. But that's not really too bad either. You lose your action, but that's not the worst. Because now he's gonna be able to turn left pretty easily. Although you might be a little concerned about him bumping the T1 next turn. So I think that's gotta mean this guy's just going straight too. Ooh, the T2 banks. I don't really get that. I mean, you knew T3 was going to be there. I'm not a fan of that move. Not the worst ever. I mean, at least he didn't end up on these obstacles, but losing 2 actions. I mean, those can be the difference in the game, not getting those actions. Ooh. So now, what do you do with your Han? Like I said, you don't want to lose your action, but at the same time, if you bump, Chewie can't shoot at you. So they're going to have a hard time concentrating fire. So now if you're Chewie, I think you got to throw your lock on that Tala and try to finish him. Because I think there's a really good chance Han's just going to bump you here. It would have been a brilliant move if Han does like a 3-right turn and gets to here. But I don't think we're going to see that. I think it's going to be just some sort of straight ahead move or bank and it's going to bump. And he's going to lock. And he doesn't go for the Falcon because I think he also realizes Han's probably going to bump. And this guy doesn't have a shot. And if this guy shoots, he's going to be going through the asteroid. So I think he's fine even if Chewie gets shot at a few more times here. He's still got to focus in a 3PO if he needs it. And yeah, Han's just going to bump. So I think that was pretty well done by Questionable, actually. He gets all his actions. And Jaws is only going to get one. Even though he's now prevented them. Why are you turning him? Oh. Even though he's prevented them from, or at least Chewie from shooting Han. I think this might be the end of this Tala right here. It's going to be a target locked focus 3-on-2. And then a focus 3-on-2. What the hell is going on? How hard is it to move him forward a couple of spaces? He's not banking. Move him forward. Right there. Go. Done. Move on. Man. Fuck. There. So Han going to Lando. 3-1. Gonna roll it. It's critting a hit. Lando gets a blank. And take 2. Gotta go at the Tala here. Come on. It's 2 hits. Gonna lock it. Gets a focus. Think you gotta spend here. Go for the kill. Yeah. So now, probably gonna roll 1 blank. Well, no, never mind. But you still get 1. And now he does not have his focus. So you're gonna your target locked, focused attack from Chewie. 3 on 2. You're probably gonna get 3 hits. He's probably gonna only get 1 evade. So you should be able to finish him off right here. So I think that was the right move to use that focus. Crit and a hit. Ooh, that's bad luck. That crit's probably gonna get through though. If he gets lucky with a direct hit or minor explosion. Oh, we got him anyway. So gotta be happy with that if you're questionable. I think that was a good job of focusing fire there. And now it's just gonna be 2 unmodified, 2 on 1s on Lando. When he gets 2 hits, you don't want to see that, but ugh. No, you don't want to take 2, but he's probably not going to roll 2 hits again here. And then that'll be it for him. No, it's going to be a 2 on 3 on either one. Or, sorry, 2 on 2. Who do you go for? It's going for Lando. It's 1. And it's dodged. So, I think that was a pretty good turn if you're questionable. You made him take some shots on Lando, got your hits spread out a little bit more. You can recharge with R2 at the beginning of this turn again. And you're in a good position to block Han again and again deny him an action. Probably going to see a 1 or 2 left bank here. And then I think you probably just go 1 forward. Because you know he's going to be doing a 2 or 3 left turn. And what's he going to do now? Going to be hard to avoid that asteroid really with anything you do. Maybe a 2 left turn. Oh no. Oh, that'd be close. But the thing is, if he goes, this guy, T3 goes to here, well now Han can't turn in there himself. So he's probably just going to have to go forward and just inevitably bump into Lando again. So I think you're in a pretty good spot here if you're questionable. I think you'll probably see him just keep going at Han some, at least with Chewie. So now the hit points have evened out some. You're down 5 here, down 4 here, you're down 9. But they're down 7 and they lost a little bit of firepower. Whereas you still got all your ships shooting, so. And that's why I said you want to go for those Talas, because really, the Talas are going to do almost as much damage as Han is. Really. Han will probably do a little bit more. But that's why I think you just want to pick those guys off first. Well, I guess I'll post. I don't know how people feel about me doing this shameless self-promotion all the time, but I know there's some of y'all at work that want to see these. So... And you're down 9 health, but again, you get R2 coming up again this turn, so you're going to recharge 1. And he does the 3 left turn, and then he does a 1 right. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I would have rather just flown him over the asteroid. Or, you know, potentially flown him over the asteroid. Because now, I mean, he can take a lock and use it later, but... not going to get a shot, and that's big here. Yeah, he's going to throw a lock on. I think that's the right move. Chew 1 left banks. Yep. I think you should go for... he's going to evade. Interesting. He forgets about R2. Another critical error. R2's ability reads at the end of the end phase, so he forgot R2. So another critical error by Catalyst. He's going to lock 3. You'd think that would mean Chewie's going to lock him too. Or maybe Chewie will just focus. Well, I guess he went for the evade because he's betting Han's going to bump Lando. And he probably is, so that's a good move. Or at least potentially. If Han goes forward 4 and clears, then maybe not such a good move, but... Ooh, he does go 4 forward. Ooh, and he clears. So, that's a pretty good move. The only thing is, now next turn, you either got a K turn or you got to go right. Either way, you're probably not going to have a shot on Lando. And if Chewie hard turns, Lando one left banks, both these Falcons are going to have a shot on one or two of these guys. So a good move that turn, but going forward, what's it going to mean? I think if it was me, I might have just intentionally bumped. Just so I went up, but at the same time, I might have bumped and then K turn next turn, I think. So now you're probably going to see him go for Lando, I'd figure. Yeah. Gets hit, 2 focuses, blank, gonna reroll. Ooh, and gets a big one there. One dodge, but that's gonna be a crit for Lando. One hit, one crit. It's a blinded pilot. That's pretty big. Because this would have been a range 1 shot on either Han or the Bandit. So now Chewie, who do you go at? You've got the lock on Han, but he's got 3PO and the token. He's gonna go at him. One hit. And only 2, so that's not going to do anything. That's why I think I would have gone at the Bandit instead. Because even though it would have been unmodified 3-on-2, you can save the lock for later. Yeah, he's just going to get 0 and get 2 evades no matter what. That's why 3PO can be so awesome in these situations. And I would have gone for the 3-on-2. Like, at the very least, you can make him waste that focus. Yeah, and questionable. Again, realizes too late he made a mistake. Now he's going to take it here from the Bandit, or the Tala, 3-on-1 with a focus. This one's going to hurt. Ooh, gets a crit and a hit. And the blank. So Lando's getting low here. It's down to less than 1/3 of his health, and he's gonna have another crit. What's it gonna be? Ooh, the direct hit. That hurts. Because he wanted to keep running this walk the dog formation, and he's kind of got himself in a way now that he really has no way of getting away from it. Because I still think Chewie's going to do that one left turn. You kind of want to go far to get away from these guys, but I think you'll probably still see a one left bank. This has been a really back and forth game. I felt like the second turn, the first turn of shooting, Questionable did a good job just having Chewie shoot it out with one Tala. But then the second turn, I felt like Jaws definitely won when Questionable misplayed that one Han attack. But then last turn, I felt like Questionable again won, and he was able to kill off that Tala and not take much damage. But this turn, I again feel like Jaws won. So I'd say it's 2-2 right now. The only thing for Jaws is what do you do in this situation? Do your one right turn with Han and try to just bring him all the way back? It's going to take a lot of time, or you do this K turn. If you K turn, it's probably not going to have a shot on Lando. And you don't want to let him live much longer. I don't know if your two Talas are going to be able to take him out. Oh, we got another one coming up soon. Whoops. Who is this? Phantom and Earthworm. Earthworm's there. No Phantom sighting yet. Phantom and Earthworm. And two 1-0s. The first 1-0 match of round 2 that I'll see. Let's go ahead and take a gander at what they got. Phantom. Running the old Corrin Dash. Such a popular load in this tournament. Although he's kind of running a bit of a modified one. He's got Lone Wolf. That's pretty good with this setup. But then he's got Lando and EI. So that's a little bit different than what most guys have been running Kyle Katarn, Push the Limit, and then Outrider Heavy Laser Cannon. But then that Corrin setup is filthy too. So that's a pretty good team. The other one's got Kenkirk with Determination, Isan Gunner, so just a super, that's sort of like the Chewie of the Empire basically. And then two shuttles with fire control systems. So that's kind of your big ship killer, I would say. But then again, Kenkirk, you got Kenkirk to kind of deal with your Phantoms and Interceptors. And then the shuttles to deal with the big slow ships like B-Wings and Falcons and such. And Earthworm. It's got Dutch with an Ion, Hobby R3A2, Green Squadron with Push the Limit, and Tarn with Astromech. Can't remember if I did one of Earthworms, but that's a really nice list. You kind of don't see super unique lists like that, where it's like 4 pilots, and obviously the R7 and the R3A2 were built for these 2 guys. Can you handle, like, is your Ion enough to be able to deal with Phantoms and Interceptors, the hard flankers? You do have Hobby to try to stress them out, but that's a fun little list. I like that. And then basically got kind of the same thing here. So I'm not a fan of that. I feel like your 2 lists should kind of be polar opposites to help you play matchups, and because now if you're Phantom, you basically sort of know what you're going to face. And what do you run? I think you're probably going to see that, because those lists, even though that R3A2 can cause you a lot of trouble with those double stresses, and the Ion can definitely give Corrin some problems too. Actually, that's a pretty good point, so we might see him go either way. It's just that those ships, other than the A-Wing, nothing's really fast. But the A-Wing will move before dash, so it's going to be hard to do that, close to range 1 on the Outrider HLC thing that everyone loves to do. So I think we would see that. Either one is probably a decent matchup for Phantom, I'd say, but that would be my guess. So we got T2 doing a 3 left turn. That's a bump. And Phantom's there, so that's starting up. We'll go to that at the end of this round here. I think what he was kind of going for was he's hoping Lando's going to bump, and he's not going to be able to get away, and Han's going to get a shot. Same with this guy. He wants a good close-up shot, and he will probably get it. And the T2's got a lock, too. So he's going to be able to focus target lock Lando. Lando will be able to get one last shot off, but I think he might be going down this turn. He might be able to live one more. That'd be huge if he does. Just focus. What's Chewie got in store? One left turn. And probably going to evade here, you'd think. He's going to get shot. Unless he did invariably do that 2 left bank. Or 3 left bank with Lando. But that would have been a ballsy move. But he's thinking about it, so that leads me to believe that he thinks Lando's going to clear that T3. And he does the 2 left bank, and I think that will. Ooh. Oh, wow, that clears. Wow, nice move. Only thing is, it's not green, so Chewie doesn't get to be able to lock him, but still, he's going to get 2 4-on-2 attacks, and Lando's already got a lock himself, so he's going to be able to focus target lock. If he can kill that bandit before... Oh, but questionable again. Forgot about R2. That's twice now he's forgot about him. Or is it when you have no shields? Am I being a jackass? I think I am. If you have no shields, okay. Well, I'm a jackass then. Like I said, I've never played him before. But if you can kill this bandit, that's going to be clutch. What is Han going to do? Han's going to do a one right turn. Wow, that's going to be close. I think you might as well just check for a target lock. Ugh, I don't like that. I think you should have checked for a lock, and if it's not there, you boost to help get clear of that. Oh, but he's in anyway, so he must have been confident that he had a shot. Focus hit, probably gonna reroll, yeah. Ooh, and he gets a double focus hit. He spends it. And the focus. Do you spend? I think you gotta spend it. But then again, oh, you really want that bandit dead, but you've got the lock, so I think I just spend it. No, he's gonna eat it. Well, I don't think that's a terrible move, but now pretty much dead next turn. Because the only thing is, if that T2 has a shot, which I think he does, he's probably going to kill you. Because he's going to have a 2-on-2 with a focus. Whereas if you had 2 health, you'd probably be able to survive that. And then if you survive, you can run away, get away from Han, and get one last shot off before you're probably picked off by that Tala. So 4-on-2. Now do you spend it? Because you kind of want to save it for defense. He's going to spend a lot. That's a good decision, I think. I think that's the right decision there. And he gets a crit. So T3, you're in it now. Boy, that'd be huge if he gets blanks and Chewie can shoot at this other one. Oh, but he gets 2 dodges. Still though, he's probably going down here. Chewie's probably gonna get 3 hits. He'll probably only get 1 evade at most. Four on 2. And that's what you wanted. Got what you wanted and he's dead anyway, so. You kill the bandit. Now you're gonna get a focus 2-on-2, so you've got a decent chance of dodging. And that would be so crucial if you did. Because then you'd have such a great chance of killing that Tala the next turn. You know, at least putting damage on him. But you know what I just realized? That blinded pilot? That was on Lando, wasn't it? And Lando has determination, which reads, when your Delta face-up damage card with a pilot trait, discard it immediately without resolving its effects. So, another critical error. I know I'm being really hard on Catalyst, but that's brutal. That would have been huge if you'd remembered that. There's 2 hits. You need no blanks here. Oh, wow. Well, that is huge. You can't believe it if you're Jaws. But those weren't the worst odds. To just get 2 non-blanks was all I needed. It's bad luck, but it's not... I've seen a lot worse. I'm sure most of you have too. And that's big, because now you can go 1 forward with Lando, 1 forward with Chewie or whatever. He didn't roll a perfect round, because on Han's attack, he rolled 2 blanks and a focus. And then with Lando, he did have to re-roll to get his hits. Same thing with Chewie, he rolled 2 hits and 2 focuses. That wasn't a perfect round. Or was it a 1 blank, 1 focus? Well, if you're questionable, this is a pretty close game right now. Because, like, what can Solo do to get a shot? He's really put himself in a bad spot. Like, you'd almost be tempted to just go right with that Tala, go straight with Han, then 3K turn the Tala, and come back. So you're not fighting 2-on-1. That would be the patient thing to do, I think. Probably the correct play. Because if you go... I don't see how he can 3 right bank. That would be close, though, to landing on there. It'd probably give him a shot, though. It'd be a gutsy move. But straight up, Well, that engine upgrade has just been completely useless in this game here, hasn't it? When you're going against two Falcons, really nothing I can do here. And you know something else is questionable is completely forgot about Draw Their Fire, which he had 2 opportunities to use it there when Lando took that blinded pilot and direct hit. He could have taken both of those. Of course, you probably don't want to take the... Well, you do want to take the blinded pilot because those crits don't affect Chewie, so... I know I'm being super critical of Catalyst, but he has really missed a lot of opportunities that would put him in a better position here. So he's got 2 left turns, so that leads me to believe Han's probably going to go for something like a 3 right bank here to try to get himself a shot on Chewie. You don't want to leave that Talus out to dry. Shoot all by himself. Chewie goes straight 1. Probably going to focus, you'd think. He's going to evade. So it looks like he's guessing Han's going to come close too. Lando does the 1 left bank. Oh, I forgot to go check on that game, damn. It's alright. This one's coming down to the end anyway. He's going to target lock 2. And I think he'd probably just give Chewie a focus, I'd imagine. He's going to lock him, so he's going to go for it all and try to kill that Tala. But, man, I don't understand. I think he should have just focused in if he was going to do that. Alright, Han. Make it good. Oh, God. I'm not a fan of that at all. Because why wouldn't you just 3 right turn and potentially get clear of that? Or at least 3 right. I feel like a 3 right bank would have still got you a shot. And like, even if you got that engine upgrade, so why wouldn't you just... I'm not a fan of that move at all. Because now he's got to do it again to get off. I mean, he can still shoot, obviously, but he's got to move again to get off. He's going to take another stress. He's not going to be able to Falcon. I mean, this turn, I guess it don't matter so much they can't Falcon, because these guys are probably going for the Bandit, but next turn it will definitely matter. And I'm just not a fan of that move. Not the worst move ever, but... Ooh, he gets 3 hits on Chewie. I keep that, no doubt. So a good decision to evade there then by questionable. And you're rolling 2. I think you just guess 1 here. He's going to guess 0. And I think he's guessing 0 because he knows he has R2. And sure enough, he gets 0. So he's going to take 1. But that's not the worst thing because he's going to have R2 next turn. Now can you kill the Tala before it shoots? That would be so clutch if he does. That would pretty much be the game, I would think. Because now Han's going to have to shoot at Lando next turn. He's not going to be able to evade. Chewie would get a focused, target-locked shot on Han. Get him down to 7 or so, while Chewie's would be at 8. And then from there... I don't know, it's close. Who do you guys think you'd prefer, Chewie or Han in this situation? When Han's got Luke, 3PO Falcon, Chewie's got 3PO Falcon, R2. The draw their fire is pretty much irrelevant at that point, one-on-one. Oh, and he gets 3. That's gonna... Oh, wait, never mind. Lando locked. Oh, I forgot he's got Han. So, good move there. Gets the 3. Ooh, but a double focus. He's spending that, no doubt. So now, you need to get all 3 here if you're Chewie. And hope he rolls 2 duds. What do you do? Ugh. Need to get 2 here. Gets 1. Gets 2. That could be enough. Ooh, not quite. Well, that hurts. But he made him spend his focus. So there still is a chance, a decent chance Lando lives. Because this is going to be 2-on-1. Unmodified on both ends. It's a 25% chance Jaws rolls 2 blanks and he does. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so brutal. Well, now you're in it because Lando's going to finish off that Tala next turn, no doubt. And really, you can just go 1 straight if you're Lando. And just do like a... And yeah, Chewie's, he's going to R2, he remembers. Oh, but he takes a hit. What's the crit? Minor explosion. How fun would that be if he just takes another one and it goes right back down? Now the question, if he takes another one, does he get to R2 again? No, doesn't matter, but... So, what do you do if you're Chewie? Like I said, you kind of want to stay close to Han. So I feel like he should 1 right bank and just kind of stay in front of Han. I guess either one would be fine. 1 left turn. There's nothing he can... That'd be hilarious if he had an engine upgraded. 1 left turn boost and keep Han on that asteroid or the debris field again. Of course, he couldn't shoot at him then, but I think he might just 1 left turn to keep Han from going forward. Well, if he does a 2, ooh, with that bump, it might. So I think Han's going to go 2 forward to try to kill Lando before Lando shoots, would be my guess. So I think if you're Chewie, you 1 left turn here. Hopefully try to block. And, yeah. Because he would action deny him. I don't know if you wanted to actually, because he would action deny him, but you're not, even if he bumps, you're not really going to slow him down. Because there's a 2 forward right there. Another 2, his front's going to be right there. You 1 left turn, he's probably going to end up just about the same spot. Like, if he bumps, he's barely going to bump. So, I don't know if you do that. I think you want to just make sure you get a shot here with Chewie when he's, right now, when you know he's not going to be able to use the Falcon evade. So if you're Lando, maybe you just do like a 1 right bank, because you know you're going to get a shot on this dude no matter what, pretty much. And sure, you get away from Han, and then just focus or target lock him, and most likely finish him off. Fuck. All right, I'm gonna check this really quick. Let's see what they're running. And he goes with his number 2. I'm not as big a fan of that. I liked his first one more. The one with Hobby and the A-Wing. And I especially would have liked it more because that A-Wing could do work against these OGPs. But it's going to be a fun game. I think I like Phantom's big fatties in this one a little bit more. Because he goes with a double ion, but like, the double ion against these guys, like, that's hardly going to do fuck all, really. So I would have liked to have seen him gone with his other one, other list, but should be a good game. Come on. Alright, here we go. What's Tala got in store? 1 left bank. Ooh. Wow, if Lando goes 1 right, he might not even have a shot on him. Yeah, he's just gonna focus. What's Chewie gonna do? He's going just 1 straight. I think that's a good move. Of course, that probably means Lando's doing a 1 left bank. And now he's thinking with Chewie. Because I think if Lando's going 1 left, he knows Han's probably going to shoot him, so there's no point in evading. So he's probably just focused and then let Lando give him a lock, I would say. Because if Han shoots at Chewie, you're like, oh fuck, alright, fine, don't kill Lando. So yeah, it's a good move to just focus. And now have Lando give him a lock. I would have liked to have seen Lando just gone right there. Let him take 1 more shot and finish off the Tala. He's gonna have Chewie lock Han. That could come back to bite him. If Chewie kills Lando... if Han kills Lando... and Chewie rolls like a hit and 2 blanks, well, Han goes 4 forward. I do not agree with that move whatsoever. Because now he's going to have 2 stresses on him. He's got to roll again for the crit. I think that was a terrible move. I mean, I know he wanted to make sure he got a shot on Lando, but those 2 stresses now is basically going to equal 2 hits. Because it's going to be 2 evades he's not able to take. And he dodges the crit both times. So that was a little lucky, but... I mean, Well, say goodnight, Lando. Gonna take it. I wonder what the odds are of him surviving this. It's seriously